You know what's interesting? A lot of entrepreneurs or agency owners look successful on the outside, but internally, they're exhausted. And I don't mean physically tired. I mean emotionally tired, mentally tired, or spiritually tired. The business might be growing, revenue might be growing, the team might be growing, but quietly, something inside of them is shrinking. You see, entrepreneurship or being an agency owner slowly turns you into the strong one for everybody. The team depends on you. Client depends on you. Family looks to you for leadership. You become like the emotional stabilizer. Today, I want to walk you through 5 reasons so many agency owners feel exhausted. And honestly, most people don't even realize it's happening until they hit a wall. So let's start. Number 1 is feeling like you always have to be strong. You see, most entrepreneurs become emotional shock absorbers, right? They're trained to stay positive constantly, carrying the pressure silently, feeling like you can't break down. I mean, I felt that way. Protecting the team from stress. There were seasons where I felt pressure financially, emotionally, mentally, but I still felt like I had to show up strong every day. You see, a lot of entrepreneurs don't burn out from work. They actually burn out from carrying emotional weight silently. And that's the danger, because we just don't want to show it to people, right? Especially when you're talking with a friend, you're talking with another agency owner, your ego gets in the way and you just don't want to show, you don't want to be vulnerable. But that's the danger of it. You need to become a little bit more vulnerable in order for you to be successful, because we're human, right? All right, number 2 is tying your identity to performance. Your worth becomes connected to productivity. Feeling guilty when you're resting, always checking your phone. You're on vacation, but mentally you're working, right? How many of you have been there? I'm sure you have. Feeling unproductive when slowing down. I feel like I'm guilty of that one. I always feel like I have to do something. So what I recommend is get a workout routine going. Go to the gym, take some walks, start jogging. Moving consistently can help your mental clarity for sure. And some entrepreneurs don't know how to sit anymore, honestly. That's the truth. They always got to be doing something. Most people think entrepreneurs have like ADD because they have one idea, they're jumping from one idea to another. And I want to say that that's not true, right? I just believe that God has gifted the entrepreneur or the agency owner to have so many great ideas. Despite if they say we have ADD, I think it's a gift from God where we're able to be creators and have so many ideas. When your identity becomes performance, peace will start feeling uncomfortable. So you have to be careful about that. The third one is success starts feeling empty. So you hit your goals, but they don't feel the way they used to feel, right? Like in the early days, when you hit the goal, you felt excited. But now you hit a goal and it's like, all right, let's go to the next one. So you talk about revenue goals, growth milestones, bigger clients, bigger team, but the excitement fades quickly. Pressure increases and expectations rise. Some entrepreneurs or agency owners aren't exhausted from failure. They're actually exhausted from endless chasing, right? They're just chasing the next thing, chasing the next goal. In my life, right, as an agency owner, I kind of shifted already. In the stage that we're in right now is from chasing more money, right? I'm chasing more freedom, actually. I'm chasing more alignment, more peace, more purpose. Because if you don't have any of these, it's going to be an endless chase. You're going to feel like that mouse or that hamster just in that hamster wheel, chasing one thing after another. But if you have purpose, it's going to make it a lot better. Number 4 is feeling alone, even around other people. How many of you have gone to a party, right? A family party, a friend's party, and you feel like you're alone. You're surrounded with so many people. So that's a common thing that most agency owners go through. And it can become isolating. Team members don't fully understand you. Friends sometimes can't relate. Family sees part of it, right? But not fully. And pressure becomes internalized. So all the pressure's in the inside. And I'm sure you said it to people. If you only knew what I was going through, right? Have you ever said that to your spouse, your friend, a coworker? If you only knew what I was going through. And that's something that happens every single day. So I recommend, and what I do is that I am part of a few mastermind groups. Being around ambitious people, proximity changes the way you think. If you're surrounded with like-minded people that have that ADD, like everyone says, right? Or that are agency owners, they're going to relate with all the common struggles. They're going to relate not only with the struggles, but with the victories too, right? And that helps. That helps because we need sanity as an agency owner. And sometimes entrepreneurs don't need another strategy. They need another entrepreneur that understands the weight. They need another agency owner that understands the weight. So make sure you surround yourself with the right people. Number 5 is building a business or agency, but neglecting your inner world. Oh my God, like that's something that we've all been guilty, right? We're so focused, so laser focused on growing your agency, but you neglect your inner world, yourself. You can scale externally while declining internally. You can avoid the stress, the mindset. You can avoid even your faith, your emotional health. You need to have self-awareness of yourself. You need to take care of your mental health. You need to take care of your inner self, right? Especially those agency owners that are working from home, right? With no windows, right? Or if you're working in an office, you still need some sanity as well. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your inner world. You can build a perfect business on paper and still feel disconnected internally. So one thing I've learned is that success without peace eventually catches up to you. Yes, your physical health is important as well, but your internal health needs to be strong. Your demeanor, your will, all that needs to be strong. Your soul, the desire, your wants, you need to have that inner being strong in order for you to grow. I spoke about the 5 that most of you are going through, or maybe a few of you. So what can we do about it? So solution number 1 is you need to stop carrying everything alone. Stop being the hero. Build stronger people around you. That's the tip I give you. Surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up. The right team members, the right family members. Join a mastermind group. So build stronger people around you and surround yourself with strong people. Ask for help faster. Open up to trusted mentors and friends, like I said earlier. Strength isn't carrying everything yourself, guys. Strength is knowing when to stop. Literally, it's knowing when to stop. The next solution is create space to think. If you don't allow space for you to start creating the God-given gift that God has given you, you're not going to have the mental capacity and you're not going to be able to vision or pour vision into your team. So how does that happen? Well, go to the gym, pray, journal, have that quiet thinking time. See, a lot of times, and I've said this in previous podcasts, most of my greatest ideas have been when I've been walking for 30 minutes or when I've been at the gym. And it's never, very rarely do I get great ideas or great vision when I'm actually working at the office or when I'm surrounded with a lot of stress or surrounded with my coworkers and in meetings, it happens on that quiet time. And I just want to share something that this doesn't happen to the common person, because the common person, if you're not an entrepreneur, God made you different, right? You have special gifts. But for the entrepreneur, for the agency owner, he has given you a gift where you're going to be able to receive a lot of ideas. But in order for you to receive those ideas for your agency, you need to have the space, that alone space, in order for you to have those ideas. Because if not, it's just going to be cluttered. You're not going to be able to receive the ideas. And if you do, it's going to get lost with all the mess if you don't give time for creative thinking and that space that you need in order to receive those ideas, right? Solution number 3 is redefine what success means. A lot of times we get lost and we forget why we're even in business. A lot of times we forget and we're only focusing on the revenue, or we're just used to going from one thing to another. Like I said earlier, revenue goals, once you hit them, they just become revenue goals if they're not tied with fulfillment or with satisfaction or with purpose, right? So redefine what success means. Ask yourself, what does freedom actually look like? What is freedom for you? What kind of father, what kind of husband or leader do you want to become? What kind of life am I building? You see, most entrepreneurs or agency owners build businesses, but never intentionally design their lives. And you see this happening every single day. You see an agency owner where they build an amazing agency, but then their family might be a little bit out of order, right? And we're not perfect, guys. I'm not saying that your family is going to be perfect and everything's going to be perfect. And I get it. There's a price that everyone pays. I've heard that before. And having that work-life balance, I know that doesn't exist most of the time. There's going to be seasons and pockets of your life that you're going to be spending a lot of time. And I get it. But you want to make sure that you are not neglecting why you are in business, right? And what's the intention on why you're doing what you're doing. So ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I building? Why am I growing this agency? And solution number 4 is build a business that supports your life, right? And I've always spoken about that. If you want to scale a company, you want to make sure you have the right systems in place, the right team in place. You got to learn how to delegate, and you want to have the support, right? So that's what it is, guys. And that's how you build an intentional structure, not only for the agency, but also for your life. The goal isn't to build a business that constantly needs you. The goal is to build a business that supports the life you actually want. And you can still be involved in your agency, right? I know that there's a lot of agency owners that still want to be an operator. And it depends how big you want to grow the agency, right? Everyone has different goals, different aspirations, but you can still have the freedom you want. You can still be involved, even if it's just 20 or 30% of the time. But now you have 70% of the time where you can have the freedom to maybe focus on the podcast, freedom to go to more events, freedom to go on vacation with your family, freedom to take a random day off, and it's not going to affect the agency, but you can still be involved that 30%. And I'm one of those people. Like, I love what I do. I never want to be 0% with my agency. I still want to be involved that 25 to 30% of the time because I enjoy it. I love people, right? So you got to ask that question to yourself. This week, I want you to do an audit, right? I'm going to give you some action items, something deeper than your business. And I want you to ask yourself, what's emotionally draining me right now? If you're at the gym, stop what you're doing and jot it down in your phone. What's emotionally draining you right now? What are you carrying on? What's the pressure? What's that silent burden that you're carrying on you? What are you avoiding? And what version of success are you actually chasing? Right? Are you just chasing the revenue without purpose? So you have to realign, because in the end, chasing just money or revenue doesn't change everything. It helps, but it doesn't bring fulfillment if you're not using it the right way, right? You can build an incredible business or agency without destroying your peace in the process. I want to leave you with that. You can build an incredible business or agency without destroying your peace in the process. I'm going to say it a third time because I know it's so important. You can build an incredible business or agency without destroying your peace in the process. Guys, that's all I have for today. If this episode resonated with you, send it to another agency owner that needs to hear it. And if you enjoy these solo episodes around leadership, mindset, and building a freedom-focused life and business, make sure you subscribe and leave us a great review. I appreciate you guys. Keep building intentionally, and I'll see you on the next one.